How would you define creativity? Is it something that we all possess, or is it a unique skill owned solely by the artists, writers, musicians, and poets in the world? Can a person be taught to be creative? Are you a creative person? Firstly, we need to explore what creativity is, and the role of the creative teacher in the classroom. Ofsted defines creativity as the process of questioning and challenging, making connections and seeing relationships, exploring ideas, and the ability to reflect critically on your own and others' ideas. This process produces learners that are excited, enthusiastic, and inquiry-driven. Bartlett defines creativity as adventurous thinking that leads to a product that is original and of value. The product of creativity does not have to be a unique idea to the world, but the person or group's own prior experience. Fisher and Williams state that everyone has the capacity to be a creative thinker, and promoting creative thinking in the classroom can improve children's motivation and self-esteem. Claxon agrees that creativity helps to equip young people with the skills, ability, confidence and attitudes to enable them to work imaginatively, transfer and apply new knowledge in different contexts, and always working towards new and valuable goals. Salsini suggests that creativity encourages children to be open-minded, flexible, unorthodox, curious, inquisitive, and the ability to challenge the norm. Now, there are many misconceptions about creativity. Firstly, many associate creativity with the arts, and that subjects such as maths and science are typically seen as uncreative. Some teachers generally think creativity is a skill that only a select few possess, and that cannot be taught or nurtured. Some people associate creative teaching with a lack of discipline in education. Westby and Dawson found that teachers had a negative view of creativity in schools, and many associate the characteristics of a creative person with a particular type of student, or sometimes their least favourite student in the classroom. And this is completely understandable why teachers may disapprove of creativity in the curriculum. However, if teachers develop a negative attitude towards creative thinking, this can alienate some children and drive them to conform and suppress their creativity. Creative teaching can be uncomfortable and unpredictable, but it can also be playful, refreshing, and fulfilling. In a report on creative partnerships, Ofsted observed that with the introduction of creative thinking in the classroom, many schools found a vast improvement in children's social skills, motivation, achievement, self-esteem, and behaviour. Cropley suggests that creativity is the process that generates a creative product, creative people whom Trefinger refers to as the assisters of creativity, the people who facilitate the setting, to enable the learner to interact with a congenial environment. It is the role of the teacher to provide opportunities and facilitate the appropriate resources for creative thinking. Ofsted suggests that teachers and students should learn together, albeit from different starting points and different skills and experiences to use. This approach creates a sense of discovery for the class, with no assumed role of expert. Everyone can implement their own skills and work together to contribute to the ongoing learning. The role of the teacher is to allow children to explore, experiment, and play with new concepts and ideas. Children need the right conditions for creativity to flourish. Fisher and Williams concurs that the environment acts as a valuable aspect of creativity. They suggest that to foster creativity, a person needs to use a range of resources, known as the creative capital, which includes the creative self, the skills, the dedication, the talent needed for the task, the creative environment, the resources, influences and motivations of the surroundings, and finally creative partnerships, the use of peers and colleagues and experts that can lend support and work together to produce a creative outcome. Here are a few ideas to introduce a new topic with the aim to foster children's curiosity and imagination, leaving something unusual or out of place in the classroom, for example an unfamiliar artifact or a photograph on the teacher's desk, or possibly the Iron Man's robotic hand in the play area. Put in written messages on displays or notices such as a wanted poster or a message in a bottle. Hot seating, where the teacher is in role play as a character, which could lead to a drama investigation. Change in dressing-up clothes or objects in the home corner to suggest new play scenarios. And finally, providing suitcases for various characters from a storybook to suggest that they might be going on holiday or possibly about to arrive in the classroom. In an interview in 2006, Peter Dixon stated that creativity is not just art or music, something else to tick off in our plans for Tuesday afternoon. It is not even an ingredient to add to the curriculum diet, but the inspiration and motivation integral to the process of learning. In fact, it is the underpinning and expression of true learning. The significance of creativity within education has been discussed and debated through the late 20th to 21st century, following the definitive report from the National Advisory Committee on Creative and Cultural Education in 1999. The report acknowledges that teachers should encourage creativity in the classroom through imagination and working towards a purpose or outcomes that are both original and of value. However, the conclusions made in this report focus generally on the creative arts aspect of the curriculum, such as dance, drama, music, design, and art. Goodwin argues, however, that it is possible that all of the curriculum can be taught and learned in a creative way. Fogarty describes a range of ways to integrate the curriculum. Here are a few. The fragmented model shows the traditional structure of the curriculum, where each subject is taught individually and few to none connections are made to other subjects. The shared model describes how two subjects can focus on teaching the same concepts and skills through a shared learning of a topic. For example, a project on World War II that is covered in both history and English lessons. The webbed model demonstrates the idea of thematic teaching, where there is a topic focus that interacts with many other subject areas. This can be a useful approach to encourage children to see relationships and make links in ideas. However, teachers should be careful to ensure that the theme is meaningful and relevant. Carey describes a cross-curricular approach to the curriculum. Individual subject disciplines only give a partial insight into a particular topic or problem. To enable children to fully understand the problem, they need to be encouraged to draw together insights from different subjects. By applying a number of different disciplines to a single experience, children can explore a theme, problem, or idea in a more creative way. So, how can we put Fogarty's models into practice? Can we integrate the curriculum? Is it possible? Is it realistic? English is relatively viewed as a creative subject by many teachers and practitioners, where children are exposed to a range of opportunities to imagine and create. To engage children with reading, writing, and storytelling, it is important to tap into their instinctive desire to play with stories. For example, creating imaginative role-play areas to develop children's socio-dramatic play, and allowing them to engage with the characterization and themes, reenact the story, or possibly adapt and change the plot to suit them. This creative environment could be an enjoyable, interactive experience for the children and could support and extend their understanding and comprehension of the text. In contrast, science and mathematics are viewed as more practical subjects. How could we integrate the core subjects with the rest of the curriculum in a creative way? Looking at the topic of human body and science, in the national curriculum, children in Year 1 are required to identify, name, draw and label the basic parts of the human body through the use of games, action, song and rhyme. This suggests that the topic can be taught in a cross-curricular manner. The topic could be introduced in music with the song Dem Bones, which uses simple vocabulary to demonstrate how all of the bones in the body connect with one another. The children would then investigate the scientific names for each of the bones and use prior and new knowledge to arrange a model skeleton in pairs. This could be followed in an English lesson, where the children could use their knowledge of the body parts to write and perform a poem modelled on Wes McGee's The Boneyard Rat. This could be further developed into a video or drama performance involving dance, music, stop-motion art and ICT skills. Teachers could use popular films to inspire children's work. Some theorists suggest that the use of popular culture in the classroom could encourage children to respond and, more importantly, to engage with text in a more meaningful way, by forming a curriculum that is multimodal and is a fusion of the children's passions and the school's requirements. To assess whether a lesson has stimulated creative thinking, we need to look for evidence of pupils applying their imagination, generating their own questions, hypotheses, ideas and outcomes, developing skills or techniques through creative activity, and using judgment to assess their own and others' creative work. The Department for Education recognises the influence assessment has on the motivation and self-esteem of children. It is important to ensure that children are actively involved in their own learning and are able to assess themselves and others on how to improve their work.